Hello traders everywhere, Adam Hewison here, co-founder of MarketClub with your 1 p.m. market update for Wednesday the 30th of November. A little bit late today because of technical problems uploading this video, but hopefully you'll get what you need out of it. You know, now more than ever, maybe certainly with days like today, personal MarketClub coaching could be just the right thing for you. You can give us a call, and the call is free and the consultation is free. It's 877-219-1482, so give that a shot. But tonight, we're very excited because it's MarketClub TV tonight. You can call the number on the screen, 410-867-2100, extension 129, or you can email us at marketclubtv@ino.com and leave a question for the show. We'll do our very, very best to get your questions answered on tonight's show, so don't forget, 5 o'clock tonight, Market Club TV. We'll see you then. Hey, the central banks to the rescue today. Hooray! For the first time in 3 years, China eases reserve agreements by 50 basis points. The Fed, the Bank of Canada, the Bank of England, the Bank of Japan, the European Central Bank, and the Swiss National Bank all agreed to lower the pricing on existing temporary U.S. dollar liquidity swap arrangements by 50 basis points. That's pretty big. That took a lot of coordination. Now, according to the Fed Reserve statement today, the purpose of these actions is to ease strains in the financial markets and thereby mitigate the effects of such strains on the supply of credit to households and businesses, and so help foster economic activity. Can you say hello to inflation? Because that's what's going to happen. Now let's go to the charts on the video and see how we can create and protect your wealth for the balance of 2011. We're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to be looking at trade triangles and spotting some trade triangle trades you can put on. And I think you'll find that a really refreshing thing. But first, we'll go to our regular markets that we look at every day. And here they are, S&P. Now, remember, the S&P was minus 100 just a few days ago. Now it's minus 55, indicating a trading range. So you simply go here, and you can see this market's had a huge 3 days enormous move up here, like a freight train. Now, the interesting thing is, if you look at this, you can actually measure out. And we looked at this yesterday with some of the ETFs for the BRICS, and it's showing up pretty closely here too. Let me give you an example of how that works. I'm going to get my illustrator, put that over here, and put it on, and I'm going to show you what we're looking at. Well, first of all, the big thing is to look at where this low comes in right here. Now look at this low here, and look at this low. If you measure the points between these two lows, they're almost identical time-wise. I think it's about, I want to say 9 weeks. It could be less or more than that, but it's certainly, you can see the move like this, and now we've had a big move up. Is the move going to be as big as this move in October? Could well be. In fact, I think what's going to happen for the balance of this year, certainly through December, we're going to see the markets go higher. Now, we want to see a couple of things happen. First of all, our monthly and weekly are still negative. So it's not going to be a confirmed trade until we see probably the market go over the 1300 level. Sounds like a long way away, but the reality is the way these markets can move today, it could happen maybe the first or second week of December. So want to pay close attention to that. But generally speaking, the market momentum is on the upside short term. We signaled this a couple of days ago at 1196, which is about 40 points away from where we are right now, and I think that was the first indication. That was on Monday, 1196. We had the signal to a short-term rally was in place, and then we've certainly had that. These are very extremely volatile markets, and you should really be trading very lightly here. So let's go to our next market, and we're going to go to our next market. That's going to be, we're going to jump right to silver. We're going to miss the other Dow and the other one because they're still pretty much the same. The NASDAQ is a little weaker, of course, but let's go to the silver market. And the silver market basically is looking at a kind of a continuation of a sideways move. If you look at, we sort of had a nice pop today, but the 33 level, which we outlined as resistance, still is resistance in this market. It needs to move over that level to get this momentum going to the upside. I don't think that's going to happen. The gold market, on the other hand, moved to its best levels in several days, and looks as though it wants to continue to go higher. In fact, we think we moved at the best levels in 11 days. We've moved out of the Donchian trade channel. We've also moved up. We've had a PSAR, which is the parabolic stop and reverse. You can see that's kicked in. It's now dropped down to these levels here. But it would look as though you're sort of seeing this market move up big level is the 1800 level, which is a psychological level, but generally speaking, the momentum in this market right now has to be on the upside. And one thing we want to watch very, very carefully is the MACD. See how it's just beginning to make that turn? If that turns in the next day or two, then I think we've got a nice move up here for the balance of the year in silver, in gold rather. And I think this is going to reflect inflation and the devaluation of the dollar. So lots going on here. This today, it was a big thing in our move, my mind, in terms of being a game changer for the markets. It didn't change or solve all the problems, but it certainly shows you that the central banks that we mentioned are all on top of this. They want to get ahead of the game, which is the only way they can do it. If they get lost behind it, it's going to be too difficult. When you have a surprise announcement like this, it really catches the market off guard. The market was heavily short all the equity markets, the bank stocks in particular, and we've seen a sharp move upward in those markets. So let's go to our next market. That's going to be copper. As you may know, we've always talked about copper reflecting the economic conditions, and of course, that was the case today as you had a big move up in the equity markets. And again, we've got our trade triangles, longer term still negative, but shorter term looks like it wants to go higher. Crude oil, as you know, we've been bullish on crude oil. We've had all of our trade triangles in a positive mode. It looks as though it wants to go higher. Certainly these levels here we saw here around the 103.37 level is the beginning of resistance all the way to 105. But generally speaking, the trend is your friend. With a plus 90 reading, this market looks like it wants to go higher. So we're moving through these a little bit quickly today because we have our show tonight. If you haven't seen our show, our 5 p.m. show, we do this for about an hour. We take your calls and questions and hopefully answer some of the things you're looking at. But this is the dollar index. As you know, we've been a little bit bullish on this market. We had a nice move up. Our indicators are all pretty much bullish still. We had the pullback. Remember, the 78.50 level was an original point. I'd like to see it close over that level today, but it looks as though we've at least put a temporary top in around the 79.50, 79.70 level. In fact, the high there was 79.70. So I think that's going to be a top for the time being, just like we have here. Whether we take out the pivot point, which would be here if we come down, remains to be seen. But for the moment, I think we've seen a top in this market. So next market, this is the one to really watch, in my opinion, in the future, and that's going to be the CRB index. Now, it's up today. You certainly have seen the PSAR get clicked in. If we move this down further, we are seeing this market just beginning to turn up. We want to watch that very carefully. Our trade triangles, the daily, which we show you, hit in yesterday, indicating that the momentum has changed in the short term to the upside, and we're still showing our longer-term monthly and weekly as negative. However, this is the market to watch for inflation. Tell you what's going on. And certainly if we see this market move over the 325 level, now that's 10 points from here, I think it'll be very, very bullish for this market. So let's see how things work out. But again, you had the cyclicality that seems to be in the marketplace, and I'll show you what I mean by that. And you could just measure this at home. You got this low right here, the low right here, and the low right here. So the measurements is pretty much the same as it was on the equity markets, and this is what we're seeing here, this move potentially to drive this market much, much higher. But what we want to see, as always, are trade triangles kick in and making it work. So let's go to some of the markets we promised you. We want to go look at our other markets, and we're going to look at the smart scan. But first I want to go back to the home page because I want to look at our trade triangles, and the trade triangles are right here, recent trade triangles. And this is how you can find winning trades with MarketClub. It shows you basically what's going on in the market really right across the board. So while this is coming up, you can see we have our, you can look for, we're at the recent trade triangles. You can look for equities, you can look for foreign exchange, futures, indexes, mutual funds, Australian stocks, and Canadian stocks. So if you're based in Australia, you can just look for Australian stocks with the triangles, or if you're in Canada, of course, you can look for Canadian stocks. If you're like to trade the world, well, you can look for them all at the same time in the equity markets. So I'm going to look for the equity markets, and I'm going to look at the weekly trade triangles, and I want to see weekly trade triangles. I'm just going to go back today, and I want to see what happened in the weekly trade triangles in the markets in equities. So while that's coming up, it'll take us just a second and scanning all the markets. And you can see Bristol Myers Squibb, interesting, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's, consumer staples, Visa, these are all just came up. Now, what I like to look at personally with my own trading, I like to see markets that have a lot of volume. And well, a lot of volume, I mean at least trading by 1 million shares by 1 o'clock. I like to see over 2 million, but generally speaking, you can take a look at any of these, and you can take a look with a plus 100 score. It means you've got a very strong upward trend in these markets. And you could look at, let's say, well, you've got prices going from 32 to 95 to 95 again there, and 85. So you have a choice. There's one right here, niche source. Not sure what that is, but let's take a look at that. You've got good volume. Let's take a quick look at that chart. So all you have to do is click on the blue box like that, and it brings up a chart, and it'll show you. I think I may have just hit the wrong button there because this is a different stock, but nonetheless, you can see this is a very strong trend based on our trade triangles. We put our weekly in. You can see it just hit a weekly today at 34.09. It's 34.33. So it tells you the trend is up, and it looks like it wants to continue going higher. So let's just go back to where we were, because I really want to show you that. I think, was it Costco we want to look at, or an e-source? That's the one. I just hit the one below that. So let's just go there. And here it is, loading up right now. And so this is just an easy way for you to find, there's the weekly right in there, plus 100. Let's see what this market's been in the past. So very easy, just scope it out here, or you can just go max. And you can see, let's take some of these triangles off. You can see basically it's had a nice move up. It's been going up since the first quarter of 2009. Strong trend, definitely one you want to watch. It looks like it wants to go up and test these highs back here, which were right around the, oh heck, this is right around the 25, 26 level. So we can get a few more dollars on the upside here. But generally speaking, if we just put our monthly trade triangles, and I haven't looked at this stock, but you can see how they work basically. Here's a signal, 23.19 to be basically on May 30th to be short or out of the market. And look, you would have avoided this. You would have got back in at 11. So from 23 to 11, that's $12. That's a huge move. You would have got back in, let's say, at this level here on May 1st at 11.20. You'd have gotten out at 14, so you would have made some money there. You wouldn't have gone short here necessarily. You would have just gotten out, and you would have gotten in at 16.80, and you would be out at 19.03. So you made some money there, and again, you got back in. This last signal was at 21.50, 22.70. Looks like it wants to go higher. Again, this is all about using the trade triangles and really getting to know how these markets work. And again, it looks like a bullish signal. I think any pullback in this market will be met with pretty good support, and I think we'll see this market do well for the balance of the year. So going back to our trade triangles, you can also search for monthly trade triangles, which is very interesting to do. So just click here and do search. And it'll pull up all the monthly trade triangles today. That's what's important. You can go back and search for 3 days if you want to do that, but you may want to see them just for today. There's Medtronic, Louisiana Pacific, some markets that you may be familiar with, but good volume there. Let's look at Louisiana Pacific. I've not looked at that lately, so let's take a look at that. It's plus 100, so we know the trend is very positive. And this will pull up a chart. It's doing that right now, and here it comes. Very easy to use MarketClub. These are all the tools you have at your disposal. Wow, look at that. That's today. 781, the market's 780, so you can actually buy it right on the money, right here, at about the same price that the signal came in. And it looks like you've got a nice base to push this market higher. Certainly, we could see this market go up to maybe the $10 range. Let's scope this out and see how far this market has been in the past. Wow, it's been up as high as 25, 26. So certainly the $10 range, which is right around here, is very much in the card. In fact, I want to make a note of Louisiana Pacific. Like that stock, but we'll be doing more of these stocks tonight on the MarketClub TV show. And again, if you have an opportunity to give us a call at 410-867-2100, extension 129, we'll do our very best to get your questions on the air and answered. You can also email us at marketclubtv@ino.com. Hey, this is Adam Hewison. We had a lot of fun. I'm going to see you all tonight at 5 p.m. and we'll be having a lot of fun at that point in time. So Adam Hewison for Market Club. I'll see you tonight at 5 p.m. right here on Market Club TV. Have a great trading day.